We have to learn to let go and allow life to happen through us without any judgments, without any preconceived notions, just allowing life to be what it is.
We're finding who we are. We choose between the left and right, the ups and downs, the darkness or the light. We're finding who we are.
There's only one reform in life. When you and I stop living from our heads, you and I are here for one very solid reason, and that is to learn to be loving.
We're finding our way together, just you and me.
Namaste. On this edition of Aspire, we have brought you to India, to one of the most holy places that exists in India, and we're going to do something very special. Come be with us.
Allahabad sits at the confluence of three important rivers, the Ganga, the Yamuna, and the invisible Saraswati. This meeting point, the Sangam, is considered to have great soul-cleansing properties. So once a year, a huge bathing festival springs up on the sandy riverbed. The Magh Mela, as it is known, attracts thousands of pilgrims from all over India. Every 12th year, the festival becomes the Kumbh Mela, where well over 1 million people come to bathe in the sacred waters.
The whole mythology behind Kumbh Mela is a sort of a descent of grace and nectar, and where the sadhus, who form an ascetic community of India, they come together to meet, to discuss, to contemplate, and the people who come and gather, they also enjoy a sort of celebration.
We are at the Magh Mela. I don't know how to describe this except it is a spiritual pilgrimage that people make every year of their life. Here there are hundreds and hundreds of spiritual masters, sadhus, students who come from all over the world and all over India to make a pilgrimage to God. As we are on the Ganges now, we are going to one of the most sacred rivers in the whole world. We're going to watch them bathe, and this is a sacredness that they bring to their grace, to their love, and to their life that is supposed to bring to them a sense of holiness, a sense of their own spiritual spirit. We all have our own way of getting to God. For thousands of years, humankind has sought different ways in which we could reach God. It is amazing to me at this most holy place in the whole world, considering that so many hundreds and hundreds of people are here searching for God, that so many of us are looking for something that lives within us. Everybody has a different point of view here about how to get there and what it's all about, but there's one thing that is unmistakable about this experience, and that is that it has definitely got a sense of faith in it. Faith to us in the West is a very interesting word. It's what we believe in. It's about our opinions. But faith here is something quite different in India. At the Magh Mela, it is a sense of deep inner purpose. It's a sense of moving towards something that they're drawn to, the call and the way. And these people are not afraid to do whatever it is that is necessary to bring them closer and closer to that which they know which lives within them, not which that they believe in or have opinions about. Some of these people are searchers. They're beginning their call. They're just beginning to feel it. And now they're moving towards that call by coming here and listening to all these different speakers, gurus, masters. And we're going to have a chance in this program to share some of them with you and to show you some of the things which they said in the questions that I've had. I cannot help but think while I am here that I'm one of these people. Not different than them. Yes, I'm a Westerner, but I too have my quests, the things that I'm interested in, the things I want to know, the things I am curious about myself that I won't let me see. So I travel with them in a faith that is very similar to their own. Yes, we all feel the call and the pull here, but we're really not sure what it is, what calls us, or what pulls us, and where we're headed. But that is the mystery of India, and that is the mystery of spirituality. Not always knowing where it is you're going or what it is that you're doing, but being with the spirituality of it without fear. This is going to be a very special opportunity for TV. Join us and be with us on this.
As a giant spirituality fair, hundreds of tents representing countless philosophies provide respite for devotees on pilgrimage. We were fortunate enough to talk with the guru of the Narayana ashram about some thought-provoking issues.
What do you feel is the nature of man?
हम लोग तो समझते हैं कि जो मनुष्य है वो तो
We
ब्रह्म है,
believe
आत्मा
that
है,
man
आत्मा एक है,
is
आत्मा
Brahma,
अलग-अलग नहीं है,
the
ये
Atma,
तो शरीर
the
है
soul.
पंचतत्व का, और
Souls
ये
are
शरीर
one.
सबका अलग
We are
अलग
not different from one another. The body, which is made of the five elements,
लेकिन आत्मा
the
एक
body
ही
is
है।
different,
तो भगवान ने यानी
but
ब्रह्म
the
ने
soul is
अपनी
one.
लीला के लिए ये मानव शरीर को इस संसार में भेजा
God
और
or
इसलिए
Brahma,
भेजा कि तुम जाओ जैसे
as a
कोई
play,
पिता
has
होता है,
sent
वो अपने
man
बच्चों को भेजता
to
है
the
बाहर विदेश
to
में
worldly
भेजता है।
life.
लेकिन उसको विदेश में भेजने के
It's like
पश्चात
a father
उसका
who
सारा
sends
प्रबंध
his
कर
son
देता है
abroad,
कि खाने का पीने का फिर लौटने का
but while
फेयर
sending
दे
him
देता है
abroad,
कि
he
तुमको
makes
कोई तकलीफ
sure
नहीं होनी चाहिए।
that he is well
इसी
taken
प्रकार
care
से
of,
ईश्वर ने इस संसार में
that
भेजा
he can
मनुष्य
eat
को कि जाओ
and
आनंद
have
करो।
somewhere
ये
to
विदेश
stay,
है, यानी ब्रह्म के लिए
even
विदेश है।
pays his fare.
और
In such a
जो
way,
ब्रह्म
God
लोक है,
has sent
जहाँ से
us to the
मनुष्य आया है,
world
वो स्वदेश है।
to go
तो
play,
वो
to
स्वदेश से
enjoy
विदेश में
ourselves.
भेजता है कि जाओ तुम
In a
संसार की
way,
लीला को
he's
देखो।
sending us to
लेकिन
a
जो
foreign
मनुष्य
country,
आया है इस संसार में,
whereas his
वो इस
home
संसार में ही
is
वो रमण करने
our
लगता है
own home.
और ईश्वर को भूल जाता है और माया
And
को
but
पकड़
when
लेता है।
man goes abroad
माया को पकड़ने के पश्चात
and
ये
is
विषय
busy
भोगों में
enjoying
उलझ जाता
himself
है। इसलिए
and
जो
begins to
मनुष्य
play, he
वास्तव में
forgets
ये
his true
पंच
nature,
तत्व डोला है।
forgets God,
ये
and
तो
gets wrapped up in illusion.
डोला है, मतलब हाड़ मांस का पुतला है। और वास्तव में
So we
जो
must
जीवात्मा
remember
है,
that
यानी कि ये
that our
ब्रह्मात्मा है,
bodies
वही
made of the
आत्मा है,
five elements
वही वास्तव में
are
सत्य है
just like a
और वही
plastic
शाश्वत है
statue.
और वही संसार में रहने वाला है। और ये
The
शरीर तो
self
नाशवान है,
is
एक दिन
God.
चला जाएगा,
The
सबका चला
truth
जाता है।
is
भगवान श्री
everlasting.
राम आए उनका भी चला जाता है, भगवान श्री कृष्ण आए उनका भी चला जाता है और जितने भी हैं
Our
चाहे
bodies
पशु हो, चाहे
are
पक्षी हो,
born
चाहे जड़
and
हो,
will
चाहे
die.
और
Even the
चाहे
gods,
उन सबका
Ram
ही एक
and
दिन
Krishna,
संसार से
came
चला
to the
जाता है।
earth
इसलिए
and left their
वास्तव में
bodies.
मनुष्य को ये सोचना चाहिए,
All of us,
विचार करना
including all the
चाहिए कि
creatures,
हम
will
ब्रह्म हैं,
will be
हम
born and
आत्मा
one
हैं
day will
और
die.
जितने जो कुछ भी सृष्टि में हमको दिखाई
Man
पड़ता
should
है,
therefore
ये जो
remember
ये
that who he
अंतर की जो
really
वस्तु
is,
है,
that he
वो
is
तो आत्मा है
Brahma, that he
और
is the
बाह्य जो
soul,
झोला है, ये जो
that
बाह्य
his
शरीर
body
है,
is only
ये
the
शरीर
exterior,
अलग-अलग है।
and it's the
तो
only thing that's
ब्रह्म भाव रखना
differentiated
चाहिए।
from one another.
मनुष्य है, उसको ब्रह्म भाव रखना चाहिए, आत्म
And
भाव रखना
so,
चाहिए
remembering
और एक
this,
आत्म
he
भाव
should
रखना
always
चाहिए,
be in the
अलग-अलग
state
भाव नहीं रखना
of
चाहिए।
being God
और इसी प्रकार से कुछ समय के लिए
and
इस
always
संसार में मनुष्य
relate
आता है
to one
और
another
फिर
as
इस
God.
संसार से अपनी लीला समाप्त करके जो पुण्यवान
And
है
once
और उच्च योनि में यानी प्रकाश में रह
the
करके
play
भी
on the
अगर वो
in the
नीच
worldly
कर्म
life
करता
is
है,
finished,
निम्न कर्म करता
we
है,
should be ready
तो
to merge
जय
back
योनि में या
with
पशु
God.
योनि में उसका जन्म होता है। इस प्रकार
We are
से
all
जो
caught up
मानव सृष्टि है
in the
वो
karmic
क्रम से
cycle of our
अनादिकाल से
actions.
ही ऐसा चला है
Those
और
who
मनुष्य
have
भूखता है,
high
फिर मृत्यु लोक को जाता है,
actions
फिर
reap the
अपने
fruit of
कर्मों के
their
अनुसार
actions and
मृत्यु
come
लोक
back
में आता है,
as
फिर
men
जो मुक्त
and others who perform low actions would come back as animals. And so we continue on and on. This is how it's been from the beginning of time. Those who realize themselves are liberated, and the others continue to reap the fruit of their actions.
Okay, what is the nature of God?
नेचर ऑफ गॉड भगवान का तो कोई नेचर ही नहीं
God
है
has no nature, no form. He is beyond description.
गुणों से इस सृष्टि की रचना की है
There are three major qualities that make up the world, but God is beyond these qualities.
ब्रह्म का नेचर क्या है तो ब्रह्म का
Man
कोई भी
lives
नेचर नहीं
as a part of these three qualities,
सतोगुण रजोगुण
but while living as form, as quality, if he turns to God, he is not affected by the limits of these qualities, by the delusion that these qualities put him in.
जो इस संसार में है
For example, Arjun of the Bhagavad Gita, he turned to Krishna and was saved from the delusion.
जो मनुष्य है तो जो मनुष्य है वो इन तीनों गुणों में रहता
The soul has no qualities. It is beyond description. Just like water, how would you describe water?
है शरण ले लेने से क्या होता है
It is without form.
परे हो जाता है माया से अलग हो जाता है वो माया में
God is beyond this delusion. He has no nature.
अर्जुन ईश्वर की
But when required, he can take on a character.
उसने
For example, in the Mahabharata,
ईश्वर की शरण होने से संन्यास
when required, Krishna came as a warrior.
के जीवन में आता है
And in the Ras Leela,
जब वो सगुण
he came as a lover.
तो समय समय पर वो गुणों को धारण
With his mother, Yashoda,
में रहता है
he came as a little child.
तो बर्फ बर्फ
So he can take form or be beyond form.
क्या गुण है
It's like water that becomes ice, and ice melts back into water.
पानी का क्या स्वरूप है तो पानी फिर बर्फ
How can you separate the two?
ईश्वर का कोई गुण नहीं है तीन
We cannot describe one as different from the other. And this is how God plays between being form and beyond form.
Thank you. You know, eyes are everything. No matter where we are in the world, if you look them in the eyes, they understand. If I look them right in the eye, it's like they acknowledge you and you feel that connectedness with them, whereas in the States, everybody looks down. Nobody looks at you in the eyes. The window to the soul, there is no doubt about it, these people have it. Yeah, you can look them right in the eye and just communicate.
Meet American Swami Paramananda. In the early 70s, he was a mountaineer who joined the Peace Corps and went to Nepal, where he was introduced to Hinduism.
What have you found about the spiritual life here?
Well, I guess the thing which draws me is the identity of the self with the Supreme Being. That the identity is an identity in essence. The body of your own body is not the same as the universe seen from the external world. But in essence, the self and the universe are one and the same. And what we are seeing are only the waves on the surface.
Right.
And it's that philosophy, the universalism, seeing the same spirit in one, which is what drew me to Hinduism.
How would you describe spirituality?
पता उसके गुण से पता लग जाएगा
Tell from the
जैसे
behavior
आप आए
of a person, then
सपोज कोई
his
व्यक्ति आया
nature,
कोई मनुष्य
and
आया
qualities of a
तो उस
person,
मनुष्य के वातावरण
whether
से
or not
उसके
he is
स्वभाव
living a
से
spiritual
उसके
life
गुण से उसके
or
आचरण
is he
से
living
ये
a
पता लग
worldly
जाता
life.
है कि वास्तव में ये किस
When one is
श्रेणी का है
spiritual,
ये
it is
आध्यात्मिक है
clear from the way he
ये
speaks
भौतिक है
and lives
तो
and
जो
behaves
आध्यात्म में चलेगा व्यक्ति
that he
मनुष्य
is a
जो
spiritual
अध्यात्म मार्ग
person.
में चलता है उसका वचन और उसका स्वभाव और उसका रहन सहन
The
और
one who
ये
has no faith, who
अध्यात्म
doesn't know
में चलते हैं,
devotion,
वो सतुगुण
who
होते हैं।
doesn't
इस
have
प्रकार से उनके वचन से
guru,
और उनके कर्म से
The way he speaks, the way he behaves, the way he lives is completely different.
What is your message to the world?
मैसेज तो हम लोग सभी को देते हैं वर्ल्ड में
Keep giving our
मैसेज तो
message
सभी को देते
to the
हैं
whole world.
लेने वाला ले तो ले
Whether
ना ले
there
तो
is
ना ले
someone
अमेरिका
there
में भी
to
शिष्य हैं,
listen or not.
कनाडा में भी शिष्य
We
हैं,
have
स्विट्जरलैंड
students
में भी
in
शिष्य हैं,
America,
और
in Canada, and
बॉम्बे
Switzerland,
में भी हैं,
in
कलकत्ता में भी
Bombay
हैं।
and
लेकिन शिष्य से
Calcutta.
क्या होता है प्यास बुझ जाएगी अगर
So
संगम में
the
जा
Guru
करके
gives the
पानी
message
न
to
पिए, तो
everyone.
प्यास क्या बुझेगी
But is
गंगा
there
तो जा ही
anyone
नहीं,
to receive
संगम
it?
तो जा ही रहा है लेकिन पीना
Like
तो
the
अपने को है।
Ganga, the water
उसी
is
प्रकार से
always
मैसेज तो
flowing.
सबको देते हैं लेने वाला
But
ले
is there
ना लेने वाला
anyone
ना ले।
thirsty to drink it?
Thank you. Namaste. Stay with us. We'll be right back from India. So many poor people. It's hard to decide which ones to give it to. So you just give it to the one you feel drawn to. There's a sense of mercy that they are looking for and that they feel that they deserve. And they feel like they're paying for whatever it is that they need to pay for in this life, and they're more than willing to do it. It's humbling, to say the least. Again, it's a very humbling experience because we in the West look at it as so impoverished. And they're not looking at it as though it were poverty. They're looking at it as though this is the way life is, and we're not here to change it. It is as though the infinite has touched them, as though the universe has touched them, and whatever goes, goes, and it's cool.
Not far from the Mela lies the beautiful Narayana Ashram. At the invitation of Sri Nirmal Narayan Maharaji, we visited the grounds where her predecessor roamed until she took leave of her body at age 36. Our cameras were blessed with the honor of experiencing the spiritual energy radiating from her private quarters and Samadhi shrine where her body is lovingly preserved.
The pull of God has always been something that has intrigued me all of my life, thus my life work. I've always been intrigued by the idea of what it means to go to God, why we have these bodies, and why we live in the worlds that we live in, me in California and these people in India, and why we still feel the same pull, this pull towards God. They have their way of moving towards that pull, and we tend to have our way. Quite frankly, I'm not saying that one way is better than another, but there's something beautiful about these people because they have a quality of faith that is very different than our own. Faith to them is a surrender, a trust into life's existence. They trust the existence of God, not for what they believe God to be, but they're really out there to let God be whatever God is and to accept it. These people won't say they know what God is. We in the West, we think we know what God is. We base it on books and scriptures and ministers and teachers and all sorts of things. These people live off of existence, the deep reality of their life. And when a person lives like that, you feel a subtle grace falling over you. The grace that allows you to not experience some things that are very painful and allows you to experience some things that are very blissful. Grace is kind of that magic carpet that allows you to move ahead within yourself. And that doesn't happen because you want it to happen. It's not an earned privilege. It's nothing like that. Grace comes because a person has a sense of deep faith in existence, not trying to change their life or change the way they live, but live with their life the way they are. Spirituality. It's not about what you believe in. It's not about the faith you ascribe to. It's about the power that you live from. It's the place you come from within yourself. It is finding yourself in you, and then having a trust in that, so much so that you can go beyond your behavior, beyond your beliefs, beyond your mind, to actually touch the reality of life, which what this experience of living is all about, to touch our own lives, to get the feel of our life back. Coming back to India for me has been a very special experience because it's brought me to that one place in my life that I've been missing, misunderstanding what real faith is, the surrender to existence, feeling the pull of God, and instead of trying to question it, theorize it, or give it some sort of personal philosophy, to live it. That is the courage, the risk to live what it is that you feel beyond what your rational mind thinks you should do. If you have that kind of courage, you will have found India in your heart. It is not a land, it is a place deep inside your soul where love and God exist. Namaste.
This side Jamna, this side Ganga.
Ah.
$100 का होगा दीदी?
What a practice this is. This is incredible. Yeah. And the moon. What an amazing place in the world this is. This is incredible. There's only one reform in life. When you and I stop living from our heads, you and I are here for one very solid reason, and that is to learn to be loving.